Hello, guys. Good morning, and thank you for attending our online class this morning. So we are now on Module 2 and Chapter 2 of our subject, ITPE 1, Object-Oriented Programming. So today, what we're going to talk about is about software engineering lifecycle. So we will tackle more on software engineering, its phases. That is because object-oriented programming is educated with software engineering. And we are going to talk about its life cycle. No? So first things first, our objectives for this morning are as follows. Number one, we're going to discuss about object-oriented programming and software development. We're going to value object-oriented programming and software development and understand object-oriented programming and software development. So when we speak about software engineering, this is a term coined, which is the systematic application of engineering approaches to the development of software. So whenever there is a process of examining and determining users' needs, developing and designing it, building and forming, and then testing the end user software to see if it pleases their needs through software programming languages. So software engineering is also used for bigger and more complex systems, which are mostly used by organizations and businesses. So there are different types of software engineering. There is front end software engineering, which involves engineering software that needs the visual ends of the application. And then there is a back end software engineering, where there are engineers that make parts of the application and system that are used by the clients and administrators. So basically, that is the definition of software engineering. Now we have term software engineering fields. So these are as follows. We have the software design. And software design is about the process of defining the architecture, components, interfaces, and other characteristics of a system or component. So this is also called software architecture. Software design is divided into three several levels of design. And then the three levels are interface design, architectural design, and detail design. For software development, the main activity of software construction is the combination of programming, verification, software testing, and debugging. For software maintenance, this refers to the activities required to provide cost-effective support after shipping the software product. So when you speak about cost-effective support, this refers to the support being placed into by the developer to its clients. And then cost-effective means the value for money. Software maintenance is modifying and updating software applications after distribution to correct faults and to improve its performance. Software requirements. This refers to requirements engineering is about the elicitation, analysis, specification, and validation of requirements for software. Software requirements can be three different types. These are functional requirements, non-functional requirements, and domain requirements. And then lastly is software testing. This is an empirical, technical investigation conducted to provide the stakeholders with information about the quality of the product or service under test. This is with different approaches such as unit testing and integration testing. It is one aspect of software quality. For software development, there is a so-called software development methodologies. This refers to the development in the process of conceiving, specifying, designing, programming, documenting, testing, and bug fixing involved in creating and maintaining applications. And then we have frameworks or other software components. Software development is a process of writing and maintaining the source code, but it is in a broadened sense. So it includes all that is involved between the conception of the desired software through the final manifestation of the software, sometimes in a planned and structured process. For your activity number 3, we have Research 103. So this is found in your Module 2 in your Google Classroom. What you're going to do is to refer to software engineering fields and on research on each field and give 5 examples on where and how it is applicable in software engineering industry. You only have to make one sentence for each field, so no need to elaborate. You can also enumerate the fields. Now for software development lifecycle, this is the model of the software development lifecycle. So as you can see on your screen. So it is highlighted the maintenance phase in which in systems engineering, information system, and software engineering, the systems development lifecycle, also referred to as application development lifecycle, and deploying and information systems. So the systems development lifecycle concept applies to the range of hardware and software configuration as a system and can be composed of hardware only, software only, or the combination of both. Then we have so-called systems analysis and design. For systems analysis and design, this is the process of developing information system that is effectively use hardware, software, data, processes, and people to support the company's business objectives. So it is a process of planning a new business system or replacing an existing system by defining its components or modules to satisfy specific requirements. So systems analysis and design can be considered the meta development activity, which serves to set the stage bound the problem. And systems analysis and design can be leveraged to set the correct balance among competing high-level requirements in the functional and non-functional analysis domains. Systems analysis and design interact strongly with distributed enterprise architecture, enterprise IT architecture, and business architecture. So this relies heavily on the concepts such as partitioning, interfaces, personae and roles, and deployment operational model to arrive at a high-level systems description. So this high-level description is then further broken down into components and modules which can be analyzed, designed, and constructed separately and integrated to accomplish the business goal. Now guys, SDLC and SAD are cornerstones of full life cycle product and system planning. So meaning to say, systems analysis and design and software development cycle integrate with each other. Now, here comes your object-oriented analysis. When we speak about object-oriented analysis, this refers to the process of analyzing a task, also known as a problem domain, to develop a conceptual model that can be used to complete a task. So the typical object-oriented analysis model would describe computer software that could be used to satisfy a set of customer field requirements. During the analysis phase of problem solving, a programmer might consider a written requirement or statement, a formal vision document, or interview with stakeholders or other interested parties. So what we're going to do is to address and then divide it into several subtasks, and each subtask represent a different business, technological, or other area of interest. So as you can see on your screen, you have their object-oriented analysis techniques, and then it is distributed among object modeling, dynamic modeling, and functional modeling. So the typical common type of analysis for design for output artifacts for object-oriented programming are as follows. It is not found in your screen, but I will elaborate. So these are the following. We have the concept of object-oriented analysis, the use case, we supposed to see what we're going to use system analysis and design, and it is described as the description of sequences of events. The system sequence diagram, or SSD, is a picture that shows for particular scenario for a use case. Then we have the user interface documentation and relational model data model, and if this is applicable to your analysis. For your activity number 4, we have a collage. So what you're going to do is to refer to SDLC, and then you have to make a picture collage of the 3 steps and label them accordingly. So you may use any offline and offline software, provided it will be copy-pasted to any word processor. Convert it first to PDF and save it as activity number 4. Then upload it to your Google Classroom. For your code of the day, the question is, what object am I holding the second session? And then the object I'm holding right now is a green ball pen. So add sa pen siya. It means to the star of knowledge. Thank you guys, and good morning. Okay, so we have come up with the lecture for this morning about systems engineering or software engineering and its life cycle. So before we start developing or coding, which is next week, today is the prologue of the concept of software development, because software engineering is a field of study which encompasses the coding of codes, including for software development procedures. So I've made mention several steps and processes that comes in your way. Highlighted are the SAD and the SDLC. We are not going to elaborate on that on systems analysis and design and systems development lifecycle, because that is part of your subject, systems analysis and design. So what am I emphasizing about systems analysis and design and systems development lifecycle, guys, is the using several methods to accomplish coding processes. What are these processes that I have made mention? Again, this is your conceptual model, your use case, your system sequence diagram, your user interface documentation, and relational model, data model. So those are the things maybe in the future, if you're going to be employed on a software company and they're going to develop a system for your clients. So those are the particular methods that you're going to use. So especially highlighted is the use cases. So the use cases is just query of several objects. So since our subject is object-oriented programming, we refer to or reflect more on use cases. So use cases is ang pag-drawing ninyo guys ka tao kapag define ka ng a role. So dumduman ang classes attributes. Ang classes kag attributes, similarly, those are found on the development scale. They are using use cases. So before you can come up with your classes and objects, dapat i-plastar nyo anay ang use cases ninyo. So for use cases, kinanglan i-label ninyo guys kung sino yung player. What I mean about the player, the end user, and then the person who is going to use the system. So more or less, the use cases are drawing ng dasanda guys. Pero ang drawing daya is naga-depict kapag plastar kung ang scenario sa paggamit ka system. So i-define niyo kung sino inyo nga end user, i-define niyo kung sino yung developer, kung sino yung mga stakeholders. So ang stakeholders, it doesn't limit only to the developer or the person who's going to use the system, but also the people involved, especially the sponsors and the board of directors kung may dayan within the company. It's because sometimes when you're employed in the company, they are not using some are not using different software or an outsourced software. So it's combination. May software sanda nga ginagamit nga within sa company lang nanda. Nasanda mismo nag-develop. May dyan man sanda nga software nga ginagamit nga sasagwa doon nga especially ang open source nga softwares. Magambal ka mo open source, hindi pareho ka inyo nga Microsoft products nga may license. Ang open source softwares, these are softwares nga libre ninyo magamit kag pwede niyo gamiton. That is why guys, kaso ang Oracle kag ang Microsoft manan yung karang una may dyan sanda nga project ang Microsoft nga gagamit sanda ka Java. Pero ang sang time nga to kay ang Java nga gin-develop ka Oracle, ginbakal ka Oracle ang Java mo. Pero before pa nabakal ka Oracle ang Java during 2012, dang before pa kada guys, ang open source na dungadaan ang source code kadang Java. Pero gingamit ka Microsoft ang Java gamit ang para mag-invento ka mga operating system nanda. So part of your operating system is in C# and partly sa Java. So nagkakaso sila pero ginrule ka court nga ang nga why it sarabto ni Microsoft because open source ang Java karang time na dito nga why pa mabakal ka Oracle. So right now Java is proprietary. What I mean about proprietary, it's free to use pero you have to acknowledge the developer or you have to pay for a certain amount nga gamiton kung gamiton ninyo ang code nanda. So amo da no medyo gid may problema sa mga pareho kada especially sa mga copyright ka software. Kaya ang software hindi pwede ma-license. Ang software pwede ma-register as trademark dili. Yes, software pwede na sa ma-license kag ma-copyright. So amo daya dang yagwa na. So pauna-una kung sino ya una nakahimo, tita na yan may may intellectual property para sa dang copyright nga dato. So the same man guys sa mga cellphones nowadays, kay ang cellphone ninyo di ba naga-run sa Android. Pero ang mga application nga ginagamit ninyo hindi daet anak Android. So ang applications nga ginagamit ninyo may developer ta nga naga-develop kada. Tawag kada mobile app developer. So the same thing no. And Java I think is nowadays it is karang I don't know lang guys if it is related to mobile applications na pwede ninyo. Medyan man siguro nga nagaran sa Java pero most of the time ang sa Java is sa desktop. Pero tulad mapa-mobile man or desktop applications, ang kalabanan gid nga dang tulad is Python. Ginbuslan ka Python kay ang Python kuno mas robust. So if you have ever have a chance to have a seminar or a development class on Python, please grab it because Python is very much used in the industry today. Okay, so do you have any questions guys about our topic for this morning? Okay. So, yes, Jaya, do you have any question?
Why do, sir?
Ay, why pag ikaw pamangkot, why do man? Ano na to? Okay, ang coding ninyo guys nga activity will be next week pa. So, ang today nga activity ninyo is about Picolabs for activity number 4 and research 103 sa inyong activity 3. Ang activity 3 ninyo guys sa software engineering fields, may fields na to nga mention ako daw pirato kabilog no. So those are engineering fields nato: software design, software development, software maintenance, software requirements, and software testing. So what you're going to do is to give 5 applications in the real world applications that is used in the real world bala ng applications. So that is only 5 examples each for each field, and then that will be your activity number. What you're going to do is to save it as PDF and name it activity 3 and upload it to your Google Classroom. The same thing with your activity number 4. For 4 naman, what you're going to do is to make a collage lang sa SDLC only. No more sa SAD, no more sa Systems Analysis and Design. On SDLC is Systems Development Lifecycle. So if you have seen, there are a lot of pics that you can see on in the internet about SDLC. So just make a collage out of it and save it as PDF, no? Name it activity number 4 and upload it sa Google Classroom ninyo. Okay, so I think that's about it for this morning. Do you have any questions? Now, for your coding next week, what you're going to do is similar to the ones that you did sa last semester. So what I mean about it is that ang brown ninyo guys is you look for an online IDE. And dapat gani that if we are going to have the hands-on class, ang kung sa laboratory kita, ang gamiton ninyo gid nga ano dapat is Visual Studio Code. Or pwede man kita kagamit Eclipse or pwede kita kagamit Android pero sa mobile app da ginagamit no ang Android ganida ang SDK ka Android kag Eclipse pwede sa desktop pwede man sa mobile. Pero NetBeans pagid we can use NetBeans sa Java na siya. Pero since nga naka kita guys naka online kag hindi ka mo ka adto sa eskwelahan kag kabudlay man mag-install kada sa adto nanyo gid sa internet station kag tuya mag-obra. So para maka-obra ka mo including sa cellphone, any lang online IDE or app nga pwede ka maka-code. The same thing, what I'm going to do is to give you the code. Then after giving you the code, you're going to encode it. Pag na encode yun na guys, you have to make a screenshot and then paste it on your word processor and or probably ang screenshot lang mismo is good na upload nyo na sa Google Classroom no direkta or you can after that you screenshot also the output. So after the output I'm sorry about that guys no we are near Abil here sa balay. So medyo magahod gawa. Okay. So that's it no. Screenshot lang ang code and then the output also. So that's it for next meeting. That is for next meeting. You will start to have coding in Java already. Okay. So thank you so much guys for coming in with your I still have to contact your classmates nga ay pa nakasulod sa Google Classroom kay because 2 weeks doon nga naga-klase kita. So I'm hoping that they can log into our Google Classroom so that they can have access to the module no. And then they can download the module and they can work on their assignments also on their activity. So don't forget about the code of the day. And then the code of the day will be opened later on tonight at 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. So questions, guys? I'm hoping also that I'm also requesting kaninyo if you know somebody sa classmate ninyo still not enrolled in our Google Classroom. So please tell them to do so that they can start with their activities. Now, I have a tip for you guys so that you'll never have a hard time on your online classes, no? So why don't you guys meet for once a week so that you can actually mingle with your classmates and but be sure to wear your face mask and your alcohol so that you can help each other with your activities, no? So just go somewhere safe. Hindi ka mo mag-adto sa public places. Don't go to public places, mga restaurants, mga sa plaza. para mag-ubra kay inyong base si taon kamo bala tapos sambalan kamo nga nagapangalasi do karaw ay guys hindi gid. So pangalasi kamo sa lugar nga dang safe sa sulod balay or sa sulod balay kakilala ninyo. What else pa? Okay, so if you have some more questions, you can write it on the chat box, and then so that I can answer your questions, no? Or probably can direct message me if there's any problem with your I'm sorry about the last time sa activity ninyo because what happened is why ko ma-explain it mo yun ang CLI bala. Ang CLI is just the tong portion nga tong may black bala guys. Ang kung may makita ka mo sa inyong command prompt nga ginahimo or ginagamit, so amo dayay mo on ninyo. Pwede ka mo ka directory play sa CLI using your PC-DOS or the built-in prompt sa inyong PC. Okay, so thank you so much and good morning to everyone. So this is about it, no? So I will just stop the recording, guys, and have a nice day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes? Okay, thank you, guys.